I unplugged it early. We're good. Oh, sorry.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene alongside, and Brian Haynes alongside as well. Woo! Glad to see Brian's recovered from last night's last night was fun. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us here in the Sportsocracy for the draft. We were live here in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different all hours of the draft, each and every pick throughout the weekend. We are going to be here again tonight. We will be back again for 5-ish hours on Saturday for every round, every pick, just hanging out, drinking some beers, having a whole lot of fun, giving you some analysis, a whole lot of laughter, as last night proved. So thank you to everybody who joined us, and thank you everybody for helping us get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We really appreciate everybody sharing this out. Continue to do so. We want to keep growing this community, and don't forget, we want to talk about what you want to talk about. So throw out your post-night one questions in the comment section here. We'll get to all of it here over the next hour. All right, last night was a whole lot of fun. If you missed out on Brian exploding when the Giants drafted Kadarius Toney, you need to go back and watch last night's feed. Obviously, there will be highlights posted on our social medias.
Too. Yeah, I like to call it the Gettle apocalypse. It was fantastic. I wound up in the floor crying.
Listen, here's the situation. Okay, upon reflection, after realizing, I'm very upset with the pick of Toney.
Yes.
We did get another first and another third in the trade, which I cannot be mad at.
You did.
My anger is because Gettleman is so stupid. He did the first thing he was supposed to do, which was trade back, which he never does. Mm-hmm. And then what does Gettleman always do? What does he always draft? Hogamollies.
Yep.
Big old giant hogamollies. Who was on the board to choose at that pick?
I believe the answer is Christian Darrisaw for the square.
You are correct.
By the way, I love having these courtroom microphones on the table.
It's
because
kind of
Brian, I feel like you're doing what your natural instincts are, and just not guilty.
After seeing the video,
she was 18.
After seeing the video, oh no. I'm being painted in a light that I don't like. Here's the thing. Of all the positions of need, wide receiver was very far down the list.
Absolutely.
I feel like we could have got someone there. We have another pick in the second round. We just picked up a third-round pick. We could have addressed that position, like someone like, for example, Rondale Moore. Yeah. Could have easily been someone we chose it if they were wanting to have a guy like that. So I got to tell you, this is definitely that. These are not the picks you're looking for. Giants. That was not the pick we needed right there. Like, for real. Like, seriously, he needs to get his head checked. And if people... I was looking at some boards last night, and the Giants fans, it's all over the board. Yeah. Like, there's some people who are like, oh, you guys just don't know how good of a player he's going to be. I don't really give a crap how good of a player he's going to be. Daniel Dimes is not going to have time to throw it to him because he won't be protected.
Right.
I feel like we said that about several teams last night.
Yeah. I mean, you're a football team that wants to run the football, yet no offensive line to open the holes that Saquon Barkley needs to get through them. Plus, you've got a quarterback that's not very good to begin with, so why protect him? I mean, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. We had a lot of fun with the Bengals last night as they took Jamar Chase at number 5, and somehow Penny Sewell ended up going down to the Detroit Lions. Yeah. I feel like that is like the unheralded move of the night because everything else got so crazy after that. The fact that Penny Sewell fell down to the Detroit Lions, like he immediately becomes the cornerstone of the rebuild there.
I agree.
I mean, I think that was probably my favorite pick of the night.
I feel like with the Lions are like the cheating girlfriend. that every time you believe them, they wind up with one of the guys you were in a frat with in college. And I feel like last night, the Detroit Lions made a beautiful dinner. They lit some candles, and Lions fans walked in and just went, wait, who the fuck did this?
Yep.
This is not how this goes. We eat top ramen and fucking and freezer pizzas right here.
Right.
I have to say, I knew that Brad Holmes would help.
Yes.
I didn't realize it would be this instantaneous because that was the best pick they could have made. There's no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely.
You added the one position, A, that ages well, B, that is a premier position, and you got third best player in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's something
It kind of just fell in their laps. Though.
Yeah. I mean, it's something you just felt like when Penny Sewell was still there and Detroit was up to pick, there was so many thoughts going through your head automatically that Detroit is going to F this up because that's what they do. That's who the Lions are.
I was hoping they were gonna.
Maybe this was a sign to Detroit fans that, hey, we're doing this right. We got the left tackle this year. We're going to try and lose every single game next year so that we can get Sam Howell and then we can proceed on as a franchise. But, good for the Lions, and I think that's the perfect pick for a guy like Dan Campbell. I think he's just like, thank friggin' God he fell to us.
Absolutely, but that's the thing. He fell in their laps. I don't necessarily see it as, Brad Holmes making this great decision. I mean, obviously it was a great decision, but, you just kind of had it fall on you. And you went, okay, we'll do that. Because I don't know if you thought it was going to. Exactly. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay, well, this is an easy choice. Brad Holmes is a smart guy. I like him. And I think Penei Sewell's going to be a guy who fits that culture in Detroit for a long, long time. I was hoping that they were going to make the dumb move because you had the Carolina Panthers, and since we're in the Panthers' home market, I still kind of pull for them to be successful, just a little less successful than my Buccaneers. Oh, but I wanted them to get Penei Sewell.
Yeah, it would have been really nice for me.
And I think they did fine. The J.C. Horn pick at number 8, I said it weeks before the draft of why would this pick, if they can't trade out of it, not be a cornerback? J.C. Horn comes in here and he can be a physical corner right next to Dante Jackson, and immediately it makes that defense all that much better because the biggest struggle they had last year was defending the pass. And so this helps them out.
I would like to know if there was actually some suitors for Carolina coming up to 8, or if they just had J.C. Horn in mind. If it fell the way it fell and Penei Sewell wasn't available, were they saying we're going J.C. Horn all the way? Or was there people trying to come up to him and they were like, no, this is who we're going with?
Nah, I don't.
Because
I don't know. I think it was just it was like a staring match.
Yeah.
It was kind of the situation we had last year. Everybody was waiting to see how things pan out. Chicago knew that they weren't going to get up to 8. And then when Justin Fields ended up not being taken by the Denver Broncos, they saw their opportunity to be able to jump up 9 spots and get their quarterback of the future.
I firmly believe the McCaskey family was busy doing an etching last night when Ryan Pace traded up to get Justin Fields.
Oh, God.
This is dumb as hell. I mean, I'm just going to level with you. This is dumb as hell. Because here's what you did. And Patrick Holt said in the comments, this is what Jeremy said would never happen. I said it never should happen. I'll never say that shit will never happen. I mean, my God, how many weird things did we see happen last night?
My God.
We'll get to worst pick of the draft in just a minute because I promise you, your choices are not going to be mine. So here's what you've done. You've put basically a lame duck coach in charge of developing a quarterback that needs to be developed as much as any quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? How many quarterbacks have we seen over the years that 3 years into the league, they still suck, and we say, oh, they've had 3 different systems in 3 years?
Yeah.
I guarantee you Justin Fields has 2. Fields will have 2 in 2 years because there's not a snowball's chance in hell the Bears are not going to fire Matt Nagy. And let's be really honest. Name me the quarterback Matt Nagy developed.
Yep.
I'll wait.
Yep.
Short list. You want me to tell it to you again?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me hear it.
About 3rd time.
Okay.
I've already done it twice. It's just blank silence.
Right.
Yeah. He's not. He's right. He's riding the coattails of an Andy Reid system that won a lot of games with several quarterbacks. I think it's been proven, and you even said it last night.
Yep.
Matt Nagy is what's holding back Eric Bieniemy from getting a job in this league, because people are looking at him like, is he really that good of a offensive coordinator, or is it Andy Reid's system? What's been proven pretty much so far is that it's Andy Reid, and everybody else is just there as a person calling some plays that he's calling.
Right.
They're sending it in over the damn microphone.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, listen, this probably bought Nagy and...
No, it didn't. But no, it didn't. I know what you're going to say, and I've heard this multiple times. No, it didn't. Because if they... So, there's two ways this can go.
Yeah.
The first way is... All right, let me reset this.
Yeah.
You now have two entities that are completely pulling against each other, because Matt Nagy cares about winning right now. The Bears care about winning for the long term, because you have Justin Fields, that is a developmental quarterback.
Right.
Anybody with an IQ above salad dressing will tell you he's not ready to come in and play right now. And now you've got the whole organization pulling against each other. And you know who I just watched that happen with? Sam Darnold.
Eagles.
I just watched this with Sam Darnold.
Okay.
And I got news for you. Sam Darnold is infinitely more talented than Justin Fields. Infinitely better passer.
Yeah.
Not even close. To me, it's not even debatable.
Right.
And I feel like the writing's on the wall. That's still not my worst pick of the night.
Yeah, the Bears had to give up a first-round pick next year to get this pick at number 11.
And a third.
They gave up a first. They gave up a first, a fifth, and a fourth.
Oh, okay.
So their first this year, their first next year, a fifth this year, and a fourth next year. That's what it cost them to move up.
Wow.
And, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think it was the move that they had to make.
I mean,
I really do. I mean, if this is your guy, this is the guy that you want, you think this is the guy that's going to bring some sizzle to the Chicago Bears franchise, then I think it was the move you had to make. But there again, they've been doing this chasing a quarterback thing, and I've talked, we talked in the run-up so much to this draft about the chasing a quarterback thing. You're constantly going to be chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing, and you got to take stabs like this to be able to make it happen. Is it going to work out for him? I mean, he's not going to be a Pro Bowler, but I think I said before the draft that I think he's going to be a solid starter for a long time in this league. I could very well see. Him sticking around in Chicago for a while. Is it going to win him a Super Bowl? No, probably not. Is it going to save Matt Nagy's job? No, probably not. Is it going to save Ryan Pace's job? Maybe.
So here's what I think you're failing to see. You said he would be a solid player in this league.
Sure.
What does he have? Who's he going to throw to?
He's got Allen Robinson.
Where's his Chris Olave? Has he got one of those?
He's got Allen Robinson.
That's not a Chris Olave. That's not a guy that can beat you deep. That's what he did so well. He had a receiver that could beat you deep and he could hit him.
Yeah.
Where's that guy? Darnell Mooney, who standing next to me would look like a little kid.
Yeah, unless he takes a huge step in his next season for Mooney.
And you don't. And the thing that's so mind-boggling is you had to give up another one to get him. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
You don't have the capital to put elite players around him.
Yep.
This shit is so predictable to me that it is just ignorant as hell. And teams like the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals keep fucking this up. The draft is not that hard. And now, granted, I pull for a team. We've screwed it up for 30 years. But you know what I learned last night? We got the big boy in the room now.
Yeah.
Now we got old Joe D, the guy that looks like he could be my big brother. We got the adult in the room now.
Your Jets did pretty well. Zach Wilson at the number 2 pick, then trading up to 14 to get Elijah Vera Tucker, a guy who's going to start on the inside of your offensive line for a long time.
Yeah, and you know what you do now? Roy asked me earlier, do the Jaguars just take Trevon Mooring at 33? 100%.
Yeah.
Guess who picks next?
Yeah, the Jets.
Yeah. Who's still sitting on the board?
Javonte Williams.
No. I mean,
You're not going to the running back?
Ojulari.
not this early.
Okay.
Could be Azeez Ojulari. That's not who I think it is.
Oh, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. No?
Tevin Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that I've been saying for 3 weeks they wanted at 23.
Yeah.
Okay, you traded up and got Elijah Vera Tucker, and all the guard teams went, what do we do now? And Tevin Jenkins fell to 34.
Right.
That is, again.
And so now, and what I'm saying is, so you just compare the two situations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, you got Zach Wilson now that has Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder that you didn't give up on, Denzel Mims that you took last year, Chris Herndon that I think is going to be good in this Shanahan offense.
Yeah.
And now you got you've in 2 years you've used 3 premium picks on offensive line.
Yeah.
And you know what that does? That gives Zach Wilson the best chance to succeed. Because what did he do at BYU? He sat in the pocket and he picked and popped.
Yep.
I've said it on this show more times than I can count. With a clean pocket, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen. With a clean pocket, he is the best arm talent, decision maker, on and on and on. So what did Joe Douglas do? Joe Douglas said, I have to build a team around this quarterback. It doesn't matter what I want to do. Because I'm sure Rob Salah would like to have another pass rusher on the other end of Carl Lawson.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter. I have to build a team that gives my quarterback the best chance to succeed. And I feel like one team did that. Of the teams that took quarterbacks, I feel like one team did that. Now, San Francisco hasn't had another pick. Chicago gave away a pick for next year that basically already tells me, no, you're not going to do it. And I look at Jacksonville. You take Travis Etienne at 25. Do you realize how stupid that is?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to stupid, that's a fucking airplane.
I mean, yeah, I don't understand that pick whatsoever. I feel like
Travis Etienne?
Yeah, it could have gone. I think they could have got him the first pick in the second
You have
round.
2 picks in the second round.
Yeah.
You have 2 picks in the second round. Now, you're going to get lucky that Trayvon Moehrig falls to you at 33.
Right. And I mean, I feel like even with Najee Harris being drafted, I feel like you could have gotten Etienne or Williams with one of those second picks in the second
100%.
round.
There's no doubt you could.
The thing about the Jets, too, is they got another second round pick.
Yeah, we didn't have to give up 34. That's another part of the trade.
Yeah.
Everybody say, oh, well, you gave up 2 threes. Okay.
Yeah, so what?
And
You're still going to have 4 picks in the first. I mean,
we still have 3 picks in the first 34.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them are going to be on the offense
Yeah.
to build this LaFleur. That's how you do this. That's how the big boy in the room builds an offense.
Right.
The dumb kid that's given the keys to the Maserati and doesn't know how to drive a stick goes, hey, we got to go get Justin Fields. And you give up so much draft capital that, okay, what are you going to put around him? Okay, who's he going to throw to?
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to protect him? The line's not good.
And that's what I'm saying, and that's why I go back to the absolute stupidity that Gettleman is. That's the exact reason I'm saying, why the hell? You mean you have 3 solid wide receivers. If you want to give Daniel Jones your pick a chance to succeed, you don't give him another weapon. You give him a freaking tackle.
You give him an offensive lineman.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, for God's sakes, I don't know how hard it was. I was saying, like, as soon as it started to fall like there, I was like, ooh, I see this happening. I can see. And then all of a sudden, everybody started whispering around me, oh, Brian's probably going to lose his damn mind. Listen, folks, that was just light on what I usually go at Gettleman or during a game. Maybe a little bit lighter.
That was light?
Yeah, that was light.
Okay, that was dialed back.
I am the true definition of what Jeremy and Colin Cowherd call the fanatic. When my team is playing, I feel like if I scream loud enough, they will hear me and they will understand. This is why I don't get it. We could have easily gotten another wide receiver and Christian Darrisaw's right there.
Yeah.
He's the 3rd best tackle in this, probably 2nd best tackle in this draft. And you just said, okay, we don't need you. Have fun.
I think that was definitely one of the worst picks of the night. Green Bay taking Eric Stokes, it still makes absolutely no sense to me.
And yesterday was a weird day if you like the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It's by the way, can we stop with they're going to trade Aaron Rodgers? I fell for that for a minute. And we had to talk about it because it was the biggest story buzzing on Twitter. Can we stop that? Oh, Aaron's intrigued by Denver.
It's not
cool. I'm intrigued by Tahiti. Doesn't mean I'm moving there. Because there's this thing that money.
Dead money.
I know we live in a society at this point where money doesn't matter. We'll just print more. Fuck it.
Right.
It still matters. And in the NFL, it matters a lot. Aaron Rodgers is going nowhere.
No.
I don't care how bad you don't want to be here. You're completely entitled to not want to be here. To be frank, I didn't want to get out of my bed this morning. That might have had. There might have been a few Wicked Weed beers that had something to do with that.
But he's here for you guys.
But here's the thing. He's not going anywhere. The front office knows he's not going anywhere. They're not going to trade him.
And Aaron went on the fuck you tour last year, and the front office is continuing its year 5 of its fuck you tour to Aaron. I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me.
Right.
And this is one of the best drafting teams in the league. This team drafts superiorly well. But I will say something. If you listen to the ESPN radio show a few days ago, I told you smart teams, there's a consistency to what they do. Mm-hmm. You draft premier positions in the first round. You take corners, you take pass rushers, you take quarterbacks, you take offensive linemen. Yeah. That's what smart teams do. Mm-hmm. You know what dumb teams do? Take running backs. Yeah. Take wide receivers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I firmly believe that. Do you realize how many good wide receivers still left on the board?
So many.
Oh, they're
Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore.
First team All-American. Mm-hmm. You know? Here's the thing about, I'm sorry, guys, I got to take this off. I'm starting to sweat off everything that I drank last night.
Jeez, man.
I apologize to anybody who got to see my gut. You're welcome.
I did, but I've seen it before.
Here's the thing.
No, thank you.
Here's the thing about Green Bay that they've continued to screw over Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers is, here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need money. He doesn't need money. He's got something he can go do. His fiance's a freaking A-list actress that makes lots of money. He doesn't need to play. I could actually see Aaron Rodgers saying, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm not playing this year.
God, that'd be beautiful.
And then I really honestly can say that. And you know what's really funny is because they're putting themselves in this position because they decided they wanted to go with Jordan Love last year, didn't do any damn homework on him, traded up to get him, and everything coming out of training camp was this guy doesn't even belong in the league.
Right.
And now you're going to be stuck with this guy because you were an idiot and you didn't put people around the best damn quarterback in the league.
I still can't wrap my head around how you can have the superstar quarterback on your team and you don't even include him in the discussions of things that are going down. Like when they took Jordan Love last year, they didn't even call Aaron Rodgers to say, hey, heads up, we're drafting quarterback of the future or anything like that. He's wanted weapons. He hasn't gotten weapons. And here again, they looked at this draft and went, you don't want to be here? Well, guess what? Fuck you. We're not going to draft to make you happy. We're going to draft the way we want to draft this team. And they picked up Eric Stokes, a guy that they could have gotten in the third round.
Oh,
yeah, I feel like, last year if they'd called Aaron Rodgers before they took Jordan Love, it should have just started with, Aaron, your Twitter mentions are about to, they're going to uptick just a skosh.
Yeah, just let you know.
Just a skoosh.
Yeah, I think that is my biggest head scratcher of the night.
Still hadn't hit mine.
What is yours?
God. I think I could figure this out for him. He's still, honestly, I know what he's going to say, I think. Jeremy's going to say that Mac Jones at 15 to the New England Patriots was the worst draft pick.
Oh, no. No, I love that. No, I love Mac Jones going to the Patriots. Now, not for the reason that Patriots fans want me to. I mean, you would love me to love it because I look at Mac Jones and go, that's your quarterback of the future. That's just hunky, spunky, dunky. No, I look at it and go, you're the worst team in this division for the next 10 years. Almost guaranteed for the next 5. Tell me, we signed Nelson Aguilar. Cool. You took a noodle arm quarterback. You know what Nelson Aguilar doesn't have?
Hands.
We got Kendrick Bourne. He can run real fast. You know what your quarterback can't do? Throw it real far.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you a fun stat about Mac Jones? Oh, he throws such a great deep ball. Do you know how many of his yards last year on deep balls were thrown to completely uncontested wide receivers? Let me tell you what that stat means. That means there's nobody within 10 yards of them. It was 870.
Oh, my God.
870 of his deep ball yards last year were to a receiver that was completely uncontested. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Welch said the Raiders. I'm going to level with you. I didn't hate that pick. I didn't hate Alex Leatherwood.
Alex Leatherwood at 17?
No, and I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of – one of the fun things about the draft for me is that you get fans that don't necessarily know the player, because some of the Raiders fans were ready to jump off a cliff last night. I like Alex Leatherwood. And you know what he does? He fits that scheme. He does. When we go through and do our team-by-team draft grades, which we will do starting Monday. Yep. Monday through Wednesday, because my fat ass is out of here about 5 seconds after we're done on Wednesday.
Right.
Because Daddy needs a nap.
Yeah.
I will. The Alex Leatherwood pick, it makes me understand all the rest. Uh-huh. They felt really sure they could get him at 17. He's a right tackle for them. He fits the scheme. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no problem with Alex Leatherwood.
It seemed like it was a little high to take him there. I thought maybe he would be available to them in the middle of the second round. You don't think so?
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
Okay.
The Jets might have taken him at 23 because he fits their scheme too.
Okay.
And they were interested.
Yeah.
All right.
Had they not been able to find a trade partner, I can tell you definitively Alex Leatherwood was was in their thinking.
Right.
I mean, it did come up last night that there was a 60% chance he was going to be available at 56.
There's no shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, and I don't mean to, bang
Do
on
what
our
you gotta
employer.
do, bro.
I absolutely hate that metric, that new little, there's a 60% chance they could have gotten it. No, there was a 0% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and tell you. Let me cut through the bullshit because I talk to people with teams every day. There's a 0% chance. There's a 0% chance they could have traded back up to get him in the second round.
Yeah.
Just because Mel Kiper doesn't like a guy does not mean that's how the league feels. And you know how often I get told that? Oh, about every fucking day. Probably every day of my life from September to today. Just because Mel Kiper doesn't like him does not mean we don't.
All right, I like this little game. We're going to keep trying to guess here which one is the worst pick for Jeremy Greene.
I think it's the one after that, and maybe the one after that.
I don't think it's the one after that because he likes Jalen Phillips.
No. I mean, I have a pick after what you're possibly going to say. If that's not the pick he's thinking, I got another one he might.
Well, I have buttons, so fire away.
Okay, let's see here. Was it Peyton Turner to the New Orleans?
Nope.
No?
I actually like that pick. Peyton Turner, Adam Schefter put this out. I told you this. Peyton Turner's going to, if you go back and watch the video, I don't even remember who I mocked him to now. I told you Peyton Turner's going to go higher than you think he will.
Yeah, you did.
Because the buzz after the Senior Bowl was ridiculous. Very little, not a ton of tape. He only had 4 games where he really lit it up, but those 4 games were elite. Marcus Davenport kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe Brian has a guess.
I believe that I have the answer, Alex. It's going to be Jamin Davis, linebacker from Kentucky.
Wow, winning.
Found it. He found it.
We don't listen to him.
Yeah.
Because he told us the same thing last night.
Yeah.
He's
Jamin Davis, I am never a fan of reaching, ever. And one of these days I'm going to figure out what it is that Jamin Davis did. I want to know, does he have dirty pictures of Mel Kiper? Does he have a picture of Todd McShay with a bloody knife standing over a corpse at his feet? I do not know what he did to get all of this hype because I've seen absolutely none of it. I've watched the tape on him to just a mind-numbing amount, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Here's what people don't seem to understand about Jamin Davis. He was coached by one of the best defensive coaches in the country. Stoops is one of the best defensive coaches in the country.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not going to come to the league and get better. Now, here's where there's a but. He went to a team that's so damn good defensively, and there's a double-edged sword here. He will be made to look better than he is unless he's not.
Okay.
I know this is cyclical logic. I'm getting there. You just put a weak spot on one of the most talented defenses in the league. What's that going to do? What do offensive coordinators do when they find a weakness?
They go target it.
Exploit it.
Right. Yeah.
Beat it like a heavy bag. And I think that's what's going to happen to Jamin Davis. I do not understand. If you didn't want to take Wusu Koromoa, more power to you. Do what you do. You didn't have to. If you don't think he fits your scheme, you think he's too small, whatever the case may be. But to reach on a guy in Jamin Davis is mind-boggling to me. It's a guy I had going in the 40s, and that was me propping him up because I didn't want to. You know where he was on my board?
Where?
in the 5th round.
He was in the 5th round. What was the number on him?
Oh, I don't even know. Wait, that's going to be like 156 or something?
It was 146.
146.
And the only reason I can remember that is because I literally took a 1 off of his number, and that's where I started trying to figure out where he would go.
Right.
I mean,
That to me, and what that tells me, it's a little grander than that. I can't believe Ron Rivera looked at Jamin Davis and went, "Yeah, I'm going to do that," because he's a smart damn guy.
Yeah.
You know what that strikes me as?
What?
There's nobody left in the room. It's Dan Snyder and Ron Rivera.
Snyder.
And Dan Snyder wants a guy. He can look at Ron Rivera and go, "I'm the one that writes the damn checks."
Oh, so you think
Daniel
this was the
Snyder
Daniel
looked at
Snyder pick?
his
100%.
40s. He looked at
This
his
is not a
40
Ron
time.
Rivera pick. I'll bet you $1 to a donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't fit at all. And people say, oh, the Thomas Davis comp. Well, the Thomas Davis comp is stupid.
Yeah.
Why so?
100%.
Why is it stupid?
Because you're getting lost on the fact that he's a really athletic linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Davis had ridiculous instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jamin Davis has none. Jamin Davis, you could give him the answers to the test and he would forget to bubble in number 4 and he'd get all of them wrong.
He definitely was not on my radar to be a first-round pick at all.
I mean, everybody tried to tell us that it was going to happen.
Right. I mean, I had seen mock drafts that had him going in the first round, and all I could chalk it up to was they were all swayed by the fact that he was clocked unofficially as running a 4.37 40 at his pro day.
Yeah,
and when a linebacker does
works
that,
so often.
Oh yeah, but when a linebacker does that, everybody goes, "Oh my God, that blazing speed! I can teach him to do all of the other things."
No, you can't.
And so. But, I mean, they think they can.
Yep, they can.
That's the thing.
Yeah, when I'm drunk, I think I can fly. That man can. If I jump off a building, I'll still splat on the sidewalk.
I'm Batman. That's what he does.
Any other losers from last night?
Oh, God.
There's a ton.
There's a
ton.
There's a ton. Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, my God.
Well,
I mean, is Howie Roseman just plastered? Like, I think Howie Roseman stays drunk all the time now.
Okay.
To give up draft capital with this team, this shitball, turd sandwich, hot possum hair on fire train wreck, to give up draft capital is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Especially when you had a team trying to trade up. If you're the Eagles and the Jets are calling 2 teams behind you, you should have taken that deal. You should have taken the deal to 2 third-rounders. Call the Jets. We'll take the extra 2 threes. Do you realize how bad this team is? Defensively, they're horrid. They're not just bad. They are disgustingly bad. But you got Devontae Smith. Sweet. You got a receiver, and you have a quarterback that can't throw. Hot.
Again, not really true. They played pretty well together at Alabama.
At Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, how often do you play Vanderbilt in the NFC?
I understand
that's what
that.
I thought.
I understand that. But
Lowest
still,
rated quarterback in the NFL.
But what are you going to do? You got a quarterback here that has no weapons. You've been beaten over the head with it. You see the opportunity to go up and get the guy who won the Heisman
You do exactly
Trophy.
what I told you to do. First of all, you don't trade up for fucking anybody ever. I don't care who it was. I don't care if the archdiocese was sitting on the board at 10. You don't trade up to go get anybody when you're this bad. You know who trade-ups are for? Teams that are close. Or you're just dead set, there's a guy that's a perfect schematic fit for us. Guess what? Devontae Smith is not.
He's not that guy.
He's not. He's a slender receiver that I like. I really like Devontae Smith. And did you notice that he looked about as happy to be there as if somebody had just told him that, that his house had caught on fire? You know why? Because he caught passes from Jalen Hurts. He's seen this happen. Yeah, he knows how this is going to go. Oh, I get to be the guy going across the middle when hair trigger over here just gets me fucking sawed in half. I think I'll pass. You know, did you notice that he was on the phone?
Yeah.
They went back to him and he was on the phone after he did the interview. You know who he was on the phone with?
Who?
His insurance carrier.
He's trying to get a good premium. As he knows, he's going to get hurt.
Yeah. I think it needs to be said that there is, I can see what was happening in their room there, because it was, they know that the Giants are obviously going to draft a wide receiver, because that trade was made prior to the Giants trade. They moved up with Philadelphia before.
I'm going to level with you. The Giants were moving down anyway.
Yeah.
The Giants have been screaming, and this is another part of the thing that drives me crazy with the Eagles. If you didn't know the Giants were trying to trade down, you had your fingers in your ears screaming at the top of your lungs like a 6-year-old.
Right.
How long have I been saying the Giants would move down?
I mean, you've been
For a
saying
while.
I bet I said that 2 fucking months ago. And everybody said, well, Gettleman never trades down because he never had the opportunity. People get lost into this, they'll never do that. Well, if you're a GM that's been in this league this long, you don't, there's not I won't trade down. You might not want to, but you will.
Yeah.
And the Giants knew.
If the price is
everything
right,
I had heard was the 5 players they had that they walked into this day saying, we want one of these guys. Not one of them made sense at 11.
Yeah.
So it's not Devontae Smith. You gave up draft capital, and the Giants are sitting here laughing their asses off like the worst team in this division by a lot.
Yeah.
Just gave up extra draft capital that they could use to build around this poop sandwich quarterback they're trying to sell us on. I mean, as a matter of fact, you know what? I take it back. Jamin Davis was not my least favorite pick of the night. The Philadelphia Eagles were the worst pick of last night.
I don't know. I know that we said we weren't going to beat the crap out of them because we did a lot. You did a lot of that last night. But Jamar Chase at number 5 is dumb.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Dumb.
It's stupid, but that's not an NFL team. I only want to talk about NFL teams. We can talk about the XFL in next February when it restarts. And that's what the Bengals are. I mean, they're fucking laughingstock.
It's just ridiculous.
Right. I mean, the Bengals, think about how many players they've taken over the years. How many guys have you ever looked at and gone, God, he's such a superstar. He was drafted by the Bengals. I mean, for the love of God, you change one vowel in Bengal and it's bungle. That's not a coincidence. After 30 years, it's no longer a coincidence.
Yeah, you take Jamar Chase at 5. We all knew that this was going to happen, and we all knew that it was the wrong move to make. And the only team or entity that knew that this was that didn't know this was the wrong move to make was the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, everybody.
Their front office can't get out of their own damn way, and they went for the wide receiver. Just want to score a whole bunch of points and hope to God Joe Burrow stays healthy. It's
top 10 wide receivers.
Cross your fingers.
I'm just gonna keep saying it. These are the last top 10 wide receivers. Corey Davis, Mike Williams, John Ross. That's the last 3. Then you go Amari Cooper, Kevin White, Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans. That's top 7. I'm giving you top 10, which adds in Mike Evans and Julio Jones. If I didn't, it's AJ Greene. That's the one that's worked in 20 years. Well, what was it, 14 years?
14.
In 14 years, one top 5 receiver has worked out, and it was AJ Greene.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. It's funny because, I posted something out about the funny, like Joe Burrow with the scar on his knee there, saying like, oh yeah, it's okay, we'll just take your wide receiver. And it's just like close up on his scar on his knee. It's like, that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
They did nothing. I mean, you have what everybody was saying is a franchise left tackle, and you pass on into, and again, they're appeasing their. There was too many teams last night I felt were catering to what the quarterback wants, not what the team needs. You know what I mean? Like I felt like
maybe they're looking at Green Bay going, we don't want that. We don't want to end up in this situation where our quarterback hates everything.
Who are we talking about? Cincinnati? Are we still talking about Cincinnati?
We're talking about how they teamed up, quarterbacks with their wide receivers.
Yeah, and I'm going to really level with you. You know why teams have never really done that? Because it's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid.
Why?
Okay, I want you to think about every team that did this. There's one that I don't hate. I look at Jamar Chase he's Justin Blackmon. I can't get away from it. It was the Pro Football Focus comp, and I can't get away from it. So now you've given Joe Burrow, a guy who he's super comfortable with. You know how that works in the NFL? You watch Baker Mayfield with Odell Beckham Jr., a guy you're trying to get the ball to?
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm headed with it?
Doesn't always work out.
Yeah, don't always work out for a ninja. It's a bad idea.
Right.
The one I do like Jalen Waddle. And I tried to tell you he was going to go in the top 10.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I've had people scream that at me.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle's going in the fucking top 10, period. One of the few spicy takes I've had people willing to put their names on was Jalen Waddle will go in the top 10.
Yeah.
I like that one. He's comfortable with Tua. Jalen Waddle's a team guy. You got Will Fuller for a year. Now you've got just speed. But your line's built.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's line's a good fucking joke.
Yeah.
Your left tackle is a guy the Minnesota Vikings looked at and went, no, we'll pay you $5 million to go home.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Jonah Williams, the next time I see him play will be the first time I see him play. Because Jonah Williams gets hurt clipping his toenails.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
And so now, you know what you're going to do? So week 6 of next year, you're going to have Riley Reef that's getting beat like a kettle drum, and Jonah Williams that's probably on IR.
Yeah.
And now what do you have? Joe Burrow running for his fucking life.
Yeah.
Throwing 45 times a game. But cool, you got Jamar Chase that could beat somebody deep. Joe Burrow had 2.2 seconds to throw. That was his average drop back time last year.
Yeah.
Do you realize what I just said?
2.2.
2.2 seconds. George Hayes ran a 4.40. Under the assumption of acceleration, he can only get 15 yards before Joe Burrow was getting murdered.
Well, and here's another thing I'd like to say about that. It's not like these guys are going, it's not like they're going to the offense that they ran in college. Mm-hmm. This might be different story if, say, Joe Brady was the coach in Cincinnati and they could be running the offense. They're not. And so they're going to an offense that's completely different. It's not predicated around that guy like he was in college, why he was so open because they schemed it that way. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I do agree with the Jalen Waddle thing because I think he's a different kind of receiver, 100%. I think there's so many things you can do with him as opposed to Jamar Chase. But that's the thing. Like, it doesn't make much of sense in the world to do these kind of things other than teams just saying we're going to give these guys what they want. I can see what you're saying about the Aaron Rodgers thing, but has Green Bay ever had like a really bad offensive line? I mean, no, they've always kind of protected him, and they just didn't give him a wide receiver. And it's not like Green Bay.
They have a philosophical. The thing with Green Bay that nobody's ever really wanted to say. Green Bay has a philosophical, and it started with Ted Thompson. It's continued with Brian Gutekunst.
Yeah.
They don't draft receivers in the first round.
Yeah.
They don't think there's value in that. And I'm going to be honest with you, they're not wrong. They just so happen to have not hit on any of the late round guys. Now they go wide receiver the way I go running back.
Yeah.
I would never take a running back in the first 2 days. Ever. I don't give a fuck who it is. Saquon Barkley, second rounder to me. No shot I take him that high. You know why? Because look what's happening with the Giants right now. You take a running back that high. You take a devalued asset, a guy that does not play a premier position. And then you can't put the premier positions around him. And so then you have a problem at left tackle, or you have a problem at quarterback, or you can't rush the passer, or you can't stop anybody on defense. And none of it matters. Now you have this asset, and you've got this, $100,000 car sitting in your driveway, and you can't drive a fucking stick shift.
Right.
But I don't blame them for having that tag of going, we can wait on these skill position guys because our quarterback is so good. What I do fault them for is making a dumbass pick like Eric Stokes.
Eric Stokes I don't agree with that pick at all. I had him in the third round. And that's, you know what? You run that fast, and we should know this every year.
Yeah.
You run that fast, you're going to get propped up.
Yep, you're going to scream up and draft boards. Absolutely.
And it's so funny that even smart teams do this because the Packers are a smart team, and they still got duped. But you know what it is? They look at this team, and Kevin King is the reason they did not wind up in the Super Bowl, and they overcorrected.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you overcorrect?
Yeah.
Ask Tiger Woods.
Oh, my God.
We had two running backs taken in the first round.
Ring the bell. That was nice.
We had two running backs taken in the first round of the draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they went after Najee Harris.
It was their guy.
They got the guy that, that screams Pittsburgh Steeler running back to you. And he's, it was kind of a no-brainer that they went that way. I mean, some people had him mocked to the Pittsburgh Steelers all throughout. It made sense to take a running back, in my opinion.
Your opinion's stupid. It never makes sense to take. I want you to think about something. Who's the left tackle of this team?
Do they have
me?
one?
I think it's me.
Yeah.
Because Ali Villanueva signed with the Ravens.
Yeah.
So you don't have a left tackle. You lost your center. You lost your guard, who signed with the Chargers, and you just drafted a running back. Do you think it was James Conner? Is that really what you think? You think the reason you couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass is because of James Conner?
Yeah.
Well, neither could Benny Snell or Anthony McFarland or Jalen Samuels or any of the other running backs you had. What should that tell you? Right. Honest to God,
it wasn't a running back problem.
I feel like somebody should have had the same conversation with the Steelers that I've had with many dudes in my life. You've dated 7 strippers, and they've all cheated on you, and you found stripper glitter in your bed how many times?
Yeah.
I think it's you, bro. It's your decision making. That's the problem. It's not the running back.
No, they've changed, Jeremy. They've changed.
Nobody ever changes. Nobody ever changes. It's a fucking myth. We're all the same people that we were from the time we were about 13 years old. 100%. You might grow up a little bit, but nobody changes.
I mean, I don't know.
Taking a running back in the first round is stupid. Period.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to play the first round running back game? Because we can do that too.
I mean, it's not very good.
Oh.
I know that.
You think receivers bad?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's
I can't
do
wait to hear
this.
It's
You two talk amongst yourselves. Hey, now you can talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, there you go. So
nice.
listen, here's okay. Najee Harris was the guy they wanted. They went and got him.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Me and Jeremy have talked, and you've talked. All of us have talked about how there's a lot of linemen in this draft, but there's a humongous drop off after you get into this next group of guys in the line. The lineman, Bergs, Samuel Cosme's, all these guys. Once you kind of get through this next round, it takes a tremendous drop. Where in years past, you've seen linemen that have gone in the third or fourth or even fifth round be starters and help out a team. I just don't see the depth this year in it. That I think there's a huge drop off, but there is some starters, but it's a huge drop off, and they went there. I'm afraid they looked at it and said, "Who the heck are we? Do you need to run it back? Who are we going to get later on in the second round to get?"
We wanted a name.
I'm ready. I'm ready to play the fun game. 10 years of first round running backs.
Oh, man.
Tell me when your pickle gets tickled. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, who's by the way.
Wow, winning.
Good.
Yeah.
Have they won a playoff game?
No.
Oh, okay. You know why? Because the blocking is atrocious at times.
Yeah.
It was real bad last year. I love Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
He's one of the nice ones, though, by the way. Saquon Barkley, Rashad Penny, Sony Michel, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey. There's one of the
one.
Wow, winning.
Rick, two. Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon. Bishop Sankey. God, I remember that.
Wow, winning.
Hard in the paint for Bishop
Yeah,
Sankey in my
he was a
fantasy
second
draft. Horrible!
Yeah, he was a second rounder, so
God.
he doesn't count.
That was the downfall of my fantasy life. That's where it's on.
Oh, hold on, I'm not done yet. Trent Richardson, Doug Martin, David Wilson, Mark Ingram, C.J. Spiller, Ryan Matthews, Javid Best.
Holy Moses.
Anybody rocking a throbber right now?
That's a very mixed bag.
Because it was a mixed bag.
That is a very mixed bag.
There were 17 running backs there. Mm-hmm. There's two good ones.
Bullshit. Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon.
Todd Gurley lasted 3 years. He was the first one. You took him in 10.
And they went to the Super Bowl.
Where they fucked up with Todd, where they fucked up with Todd Gurley was that they
he was broke before he got in the league. He lasted 3 fucking years. That would be like you buying a car. It explodes 5 months later, and you go, but it was so good for that 5 months.
He was one of the best running backs in the league for 3 years.
Year. He did it for 1 year. He was hurt constantly. He's 5 years younger than I am, and he's out of the league. That's the stupidest thing you have ever said to me, and it's not even close.
It's not. Your hatred for first-round running backs is insane.
I'm going to give you the chance to stop being stupid, because do you know who they took him over? For the love of fuck, what year did they take Todd Gurley? Do you even know?
Was that 13?
It was 20. I lost it. Son of a bitch. I'm so pissed off I can't say straight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What year did they take Todd Gurley?
I don't know, 13.
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Give me
I'm trying to get there. I'm scrolling too bad. It was 6 years ago.
Okay.
He's out of the fucking league. He played another year on another team. He survived 5 years. Mm-hmm. He was out for one of them. And let's just play the fun game of who you took that piece of shit over.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll let you say dumb shit and get away with it. This ain't one of them. Yeah, here's who you took him in front of. Trey Wayne's still in the league. I'm just going to go down. I'll hit the good ones. Devontae Parker, Eric Armstead, Nelson Aguilar, who I don't particularly like, Bud Dupree, Shaq Thompson, Laken Tomlinson, still in the league, Demarius Randall, Stephon Anthony, I shouldn't have said that one. Landon Collins. Let's see. Oh, God, Devin Smith. That's a bad Jets pick that I don't want to ever think about again. Bernardrick McKinney, Eric Kendricks. You know what every one of those guys have in common? If you could go back to 2015 and undo your fuck up, I promise you the Rams would take every last one of them.
I think a lot of that, people's minds go to these guys because it is the fantasy football occasion of
100%.
the NFL. They look at that guy and they say, oh, God, Todd Gurley could not have been a bust because he won me a championship 3 years ago. They look at Ezekiel Elliott, who you named on that list, who they haven't even made to the playoffs. I mean, they made one playoff game.
Right.
But, again, he won me a championship. There were several guys on that list that you named that had good years fantasy football-wise, which people automatically, their mind goes to, he must have been good because, holy shit, how many games did I win with that guy as my running back?
But they were good because they
Question.
put up the numbers.
The numbers don't matter. The numbers are fucking irrelevant, fantasy football boy.
No,
How old
okay.
is Todd Gurley? This is so much worse than I even thought it was.
27.
He's 26 years old.
He's 26 fucking years old. He's out of the league. He's out of the league. And that's one of the good ones. I mean, for the love of God, I'll give you that one at 5. I'll give you that one at 5, and he lasted for a presidential term. Donald Trump lasted longer than Todd Gurley did. I mean, for fuck's sake.
It's not the problem of drafting them. It's the problem of paying them afterward.
No, it's the problem of they age like a dairy product. You have a first-round pick that didn't even make it to the 5th-year option, and you're trying to tell me this was a success. And he actually did make it to the 5th-year option.
He did make it to the 5th-year option.
But actually, no, he didn't, because they paid him.
They paid the extension
early
before the
because
5th-year
they're
option.
stupid.
Yeah. But I'm saying
And you're trying to tell me there's a
bad.
Rams fan in the comments that I can't believe is not chiming in going,
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
I mean, and we're knocking, we're absolutely knocking Jacksonville for taking ATN in the first round too, because we felt like he could have easily been there, in the.
He should have been.
Should have been. I just feel like, you even had Najee Harris to the Pittsburgh Steelers from mock number 1.
I did.
And it wasn't, and that's not because Jeremy is picking because of what he would do. He's picking because he knows what's going to happen.
Because what they're going to do.
And I didn't even realize before the conversation started right here that they don't have 3 of the offensive linemen that they had last year, which was they couldn't block anybody from last year. Was there guys on their team that they're saying, oh yeah, these guys are going to take the next step up? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and you listen to what Jeremy just said, you should probably be going, what the hell do we think we're doing here?
No, they feel like they can get depth later in this draft. It's the only way that you can make that make sense in your head. And the talent
it
on
can't make sense.
Of course it makes sense. It makes sense to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, trying to see it from their perspective,
I can kill this argument in one.
Later.
I can kill this argument in one fucking line.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 years from now, when we evaluate this draft, what is the record of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh God, they're going to be
500.
They're going to be not
500 with who?
At
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
With who as their quarterback?
they're done after.
They're fucked. And you didn't. You added a weapon. How good you gonna feel about Najee Harris when he's got Mason Rudolph handing him the ball?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, and you're telling me that you're gonna feel markedly, drastically better about Najee Harris than you would have felt about Kenny Gainwell? Than you would have felt about, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a running back I really like later. Michael Carter.
Rhamondre Stevenson.
Yeah, you're telling me that the difference between Najee Harris and Michael Carter
Much better than that one.
is bigger than the difference of starting, I don't know, let's name a Sam Cosmi and I'm trying to think of a tackle that you'll know that would go in about the same time that Deontay Smith. And I like Deontay Smith. There's a huge fucking difference.
Right.
Running backs literally are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
A dime a dozen. And you know what, by the way, you remember all those running backs that you said were good?
Yeah.
To take away Todd Gurley, because he didn't last a fucking presidential term. Melvin Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette. Who's the one I'm forgetting? There's one I'm forgetting.
There was
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon. You know how many playoff wins they have combined?
Yep.
1.
With the team that was drafted, they were drafted because Leonard Fournette just won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
True.
I don't care what you do on the second. When you leave the team that drafted you, I really don't fucking care. Right. Yeah, Brett Favre won 2 Super Bowls. Do you think the Atlanta Falcons get a hard dick when they think about that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Because they got Jerry Glanville and a bag of footballs for him.
Right.
God, I always used to remember who the guy that they traded for was.
I don't remember. I can look it up.
It ended up being like somebody, and his name is so like stupid.
It's
like,
so
and
bad.
I can't remember. I can't forget that I remember it.
I mean,
it
just.
makes sense.
I mean,
I said this last night.
But I think part of this is also it's also marketing. It's also what we can make off of this guy. It's also what we can put out there.
Yeah, because you're literally about to say the dumbest thing you've said to me in your life, that you think an NFL team gives a fuck about what they can market. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a top 5 most marketable franchise in the world. Mm-hmm. And you think they're looking at their first round pick going, we could sell a bunch of Najee Harris jerseys. The team made $1 billion last year. It has nothing to do with that, and it never has. They think they're close, and the problem is that your team is getting ready to figure this out. When it goes sideways, it goes really sideways, especially when you've been taking running backs in the first round. Because you know what all of the teams that have done this have in common? They've all had to completely reset the decks. Like, let's just talk about these teams that have taken running backs, shall we?
Okay.
And Edwards-Helaire's not to the evaluation point, and Mahomes hasn't been paid, so you can't talk about him.
Okay.
Raiders. They've completely had to reset the deck. Why? Because they couldn't block for him. Saquon Barkley had to completely reset the deck. People got fired, if you remember correctly. Why? Because he's a running back and didn't have any holes. Leonard Fournette, I think he got everybody fired. And I mean, I could keep doing this. Fired. That is what it all has in common. You take a running back, I hope you rent, not buy. And now Mike Tomlin is safe as shit. Because that team is good-ish. 3 years from now, you're going to look back and go, damn, I wish we'd taken a tackle or an edge rusher, Azeez Ojulari, for the love of all that's good and fucking holy.
Yeah, that would have been probably the pick that I would have went for at that point for the Steelers.
You will never, ever convince me that taking a running back in the first round is a good idea. Ever. The league's just different. Because you have to have 2.
Yeah.
You have to have 2. I mean, you mark my words, your Giants are taking a running back sometime either tonight or very early tomorrow.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars were the other team that picked up a running back.
Stupid.
And now they have
stupid. It's stupid as fuck. Oh, we have a running back that Trevor Lawrence knows. Cool. Maybe they can rent a fucking condo together.
Yeah, seriously.
Sweet. He has somebody that he knows. Awesome. You know what else he has? Cam Robinson on the left and Taylor, the god-awful right tackle. By the way, lowest graded right tackle in the league last year. And that's what you're sticking pretty boy Trevor Lawrence behind. But at 25, for the love of fuck, we had to have a running back. I mean, we had to have a running back.
Yeah, not because not to mention that they have James Robinson, who played pretty freaking good last year for a really, really bad team. So it just, that was what surprised me even more. I could see getting him in the second round because you could still get him, but you didn't need to there. That's a lot of these guys, a lot of these teams are drafting. That's what I took from last night the most was you don't need him there. And that I can't. You don't need him there, or why did you pass on this guy for a need? But
honestly, what else would they have done there?
Who?
That they can't get later?
The Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh, I don't know.
There was
Kevin fucking Jenkins comes to mind.
They have the first pick today. If they want to take
and they're not going to take him, they're going to take Trayvon Mooring. It's the same thing. But hell, take Pat Freiermuth and make sure you get him.
I mean, there's a ton of.
But see, what drives me crazy is that you see the draft the way that so many teams do. The ends justifies the means.
Absolutely.
Oh, we have the first pick here, so it doesn't matter. We got Travis Etienne. It doesn't matter. We can still get Tevin Jenkins at 33.
They would never know.
That's like driving home drunk, and the fact you didn't wrap your car around a telephone pole means, well, it fucking worked, didn't it? Yeah, keep doing that. That's why you're the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
That's why you've been a laughingstock for 20 fucking years.
I mean, if they thought that he wasn't going to be there, And 7 picks later, maybe they were worried that Buffalo was going to take another running back.
Jonathan Welch, you're right. I am going horse. I believe I need a little libation.
Need a little
I am
beverage.
extremely surprised that my voice is not like, hey, man, what's going on, dudes? Like I've smoked like 40,000 packs of heaters last night or not.
I will say I've gone through almost a carton of heaters in 4 days. The fact that I can still breathe is nominally shocking.
Right.
Stress, draft time is the most stressful time for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have to, by the way, something I do want to do today, I want to remock rounds 2 and 3.
Okay.
And put that out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to put out a remock of rounds 2 and 3 today.
Okay.
The graphics are going to be a little, sorry, I don't have time to do.
Little thrown together.
65, or actually it's more than that. Let's see, 32, 105 minus 32. Mathing.
Yeah, no, this
73.
Yeah,
73. I don't have the time to make
this needs to be
73
like 10 at a time.
I'll make one great big graphic that has all of the
All
guys.
on there.
We'll put it out on the website. But yeah, we'll remock the draft. This will give you an opportunity to see what I think. I mean, I'm a draft analyst. I do not call myself a draft expert because I think that's contentious and douchey.
Yeah.
I'm looking right at you, Bucky.
Even
sorry. I'm
though
an expert.
everything you say puts out that expert vibe.
I didn't call myself an expert. I know this draft real good.
I'm pretty sure I know what one thing he's an expert at. It's that sweet, sweet mullet he's got on his head right there, baby.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's glorious.
It's not glorious.
so
And,
glorious.
and tomorrow, we'll be all Gardner Minshew'd up with our Sweet Eagle.
It's gross.
Play a little Leonard Skinner out of our old El Camino.
Free Bird is going to be played here tomorrow for sure.
Day 3, boys, it's going to get white trashy in here.
Right.
Yeah.
We still got a whole lot of talent left in the second round here.
Day
of
3 is
the
going to be
NFL
brought
draft.
to you by Fireball.
We're gonna be.
Zachary's
in the comments. Just want to say hi to Zach. I hope you're doing
Zach,
well.
we're hoping Zach will be here with us tonight.
Yes.
The last night was fun. I'm not
I
right.
had an absolute blast. I wanted to tell you that, guys, on camera. I mean, last night was one of the funnest nights I've had in a very long time.
Yeah, there is something about this chair, though, that it makes you want to yell.
Yeah.
You did it last night. I'm doing it today. Maybe it's you.
It is me. You guys love to just pile on me, and we
don't want to pile on you at all.
Why you got to take it there?
I've asked Hank to snuggle with me on this couch for a nap for a long time. It's not going to happen. But hey, I don't pile on him.
A whole lot of talent left in the draft. Night 2 is going to be phenomenal. We can't wait to bring it to you. We'll be here with every pick live in the Wicked Weed studio. So mock draft is going to be the next thing to look forward to here on the channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share it out with your friends as well. Tell them how much fun we had last night.
Absolutely.
We'd love to see them in the Sportsocracy community tonight for night 2, tomorrow for day 3. It is going to be
Tomorrow's
great,
going to
and
be
we're glad
weird.
you're along on the ride with us.
If you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscription button, because tomorrow's going to get weird. Because I'm going to be dressed like I fell right out of a single-wide trailer in a park that has not been taken care of. And I am going to go ham sandwich on some dudes. There wasn't a lot of analysis last night. Last night was a lot of jokes.
Yep.
Day 3 is going to be a lot of jokes and a lot of analysis. A lot of banging through picks. It's going to be...
Quick.
And then we're all just going to go to the bar and get fucking doused. Caption that one, YouTube.
You're going to put the exclamation point on the weekend. Anyway, be sure to tune in this afternoon as well on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. And, of course, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, 3 to 5 every weekday afternoon. We'll be back in here in the Wicked Weed studio tonight for night 2 of the NFL draft. I'm Tank Spencer.
Oh, hold on. Before you do this,
Yep.
I'm glad I remembered this. Tonight, I will be answering questions live from Twitter.
Okay.
So if you have a question about your team, if you have whatever the case may be, send them to @thesportsocracy. We'll have somebody right off camera that's feeding questions, putting them up on the screen. We'll say your name. We'll put out your Twitter handle. It'll be fun times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just hit the little Tweety bird
Say
and
my
look
name,
for,
say my name.
and look for Flostradamus. Of which, by the way, I fully plan on changing my Twitter handle to @Flostradamus.
Yes. badass.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. He's Brian Haynes. We'll see you tonight.
Weekday.